Very interesting. Now, let's see how long this will take to upload to YouTube. Where is it? Yeah. There it is. Fantastic. So, the stream's up, the chat's up, we're all good to go. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round 9 of the Go Workplace Training PlayStation Tier 1 Pacific Series. Boy, that is a mouthful. Here on Race Spec Esports. Round 9 here at the Chinese Grand Prix at Shanghai International Circuit. A 5.45 kilometer 16-turn racetrack designed by Hermann Tilke. It's one of the most expensive racing facilities in the world. It's quite a unique racetrack. It has very unique sections that dot this place, most notably the snail section that forms turns 1 through 4. You've got this overtaking spot at turn 6. You can have a half-hearted chance through here. In the second sector, you've got the high-speed S's of turn 7, 8. And, of course, you've got the long sweeper of turn 13, which leads onto the kilometre-long back straight, heading towards the tight hairpin of turn 14, the most prominent overtaking spot on the racetrack. And as you can see, it is raining at the moment. Intermediate conditions here at Shanghai. Will be a bit of a handful, I imagine. This track is sometimes a bit difficult in the dry, particularly at turns 13. Most notably, turn 13, it's got a slight amount of camber to it, and when you apply the throttle, the car becomes a bit skittish around the long, sweeping right-hander. It's sometimes quite easy to lose the back end. You're forced to catch it. And in the wet, with these reduced grip conditions, it's even easier to lose the back end. G-Force Ford, the first driver to set a flying lap, is making his way around turn 1 towards turn 2. First gear, second gear, then into turn 3. And then turn 4 to end the snail section. Then we got the brief kink of turn 5. That ends the first sector. Hard on the brakes for turn 6, second gear. Gently on the throttle, third gear. Fourth gear, fifth gear, now towards turn 7. You can see they're very gentle on the throttle, very gentle on steering input. Round turn 8. Again, you can see him feathering the throttle, feathering the brake. Round turn 9. And then turn 10. This will be the final corner in the second sector. He comes towards turn 11, a heavy braking zone. Down from 7th gear, down to 3rd. Then into turn 12. Then the long sweeper of 13. Half throttle up to 4th gear. Still half throttle. 5th gear, 60%, 70, 80, 90 and 100% throttle. Right there at the exit. See, the car was quite stable. Fortunately, he didn't spin out and crash out at the beginning of quali. Now coming around turn 14. And then this little right-hand kink is actually a turn. That little kink there, that's turn 15. Then turn 16. This little mediocre left-hander, very easy to invalidate on the outside, running wide, as Ford sets the benchmark at 1 minute 42.951. Got 2 Red Bulls coming towards the start-finish line, the first of which is Curving Texas. Sets a 43.5. There's a Haas coming. It's Leo. 43.8. OP Magic does a 44.8. He's a second off Leo. Wogboy jumps up to second place. 1 minute 43.382. He's 4/10 behind Ford. And that is a monumental lap from Izzat Kush. 1 minute 42.2. He is 7/10 quicker than his teammate, and Swaggy has just responded with a 42.164. He takes provisional pole away from the Singapore driver. Look at that. They are so far ahead of the rest of the field. That is unbelievable. 7/10. That's a big, big margin. See what this man can do. Zach Crichton. Pretty solid all-round driver. We'll see what he's like in the intermediate conditions. Goes third fastest. 1 minute 42.646. More or less put himself in between the two AlphaTauris. Not only in terms of position, but also in terms of time. About 3/10 either way. Mr. Mount jumps to 6th place with a 1:43.1. Plevs is still in the pit lane. Sideways ACW, who is filling in for tonight's race. School holidays, you see, here in New South Wales. As a result, ACW out there on track. Got a bit of spare time up his sleeve and he's spending it doing some league racing. Leo has just improved. OP Magic has improved tremendously. A 1:42.573. Isaac Kush has just replied to Swaggy, 1 minute 41.9. It suggests to me that the conditions are improving here at Shanghai. We just have to wait and see if the times continue to tumble down as Swaggy is mimicking Lewis Hamilton there. Unfortunately, there's no gravel trap on the outside to properly mimic it. But he's currently sitting pretty high up there in 2nd place. Plevs on an out lap, he's coming around turn 13. Sandeezy, I believe, has just completed a lap. He's invalidated this lap. He must have ran wide at the final turn. As a result, he's invalidated this lap that he's currently on. G-Force TP on a flyer, up by 0.6 of a second, heading around turn number 6. Towards turns 7 and 8, these high-speed sweepers, they're quite fun to go through in the dry, not so much in the wet when the car feels skatey. The car feels as if it will go out from underneath you at any second. You're pretty much driving by the seat of your pants. Swaggy's put on the soft compound tyre. Well, it has stopped raining. You can see on the halo of the Mercedes-Benz there is no rain droplets. So the conditions are improving here. So expect some mad dashes at the end of qualifying. We'll probably see all 19 of these drivers pour out of the pit lane, slap on a set of soft compound tyres and send it. Around turn 14 comes G-Force TP. Now I wonder if he'll just go into the pits here. Nope, going to complete the lap. Let's see what the Mercedes can do. Crosses the line, goes 9th fastest, just behind his teammate. About 0.5 separating the two. Crichton on an out lap that I don't think the track is dry enough just yet. Probably just feeling the conditions out there. Spilly on an in lap, it seems, currently 4th fastest. I think the same goes with Mr. Mount. We'll see whether or not he goes into the pits. Does so. Spilly using the little bit of road on the inside just to get out of people's way. Maybe Magic on an in lap, and I think same goes for ACW and Old Mate Kurt. I reckon a lot of these guys are on in laps. Maybe not G-Force Ford. Currently purple to the first sector on those intermediate tyres, heading around turn 7. Then turn number 8. Currently 11th fastest with a 42.9. 1 second separates P2 down to about P13. That's how close it is at the moment. Up by 0.3 G-Force Ford. Hello KD. Nice to see people watching the stream. Though the real action won't come about until about 3 minutes to go. And the real shenanigans of qualifying will begin. Ford will get a little bit of a tow there. That was from Spilly. Hurtling himself towards turn 14, hard on the brakes, 2nd gear, 1st gear at the apex, short shifts to 2nd. sideways, third, fourth gear, fifth gear, sixth gear, around the final turn, gently on the throttle in fourth, fifth, you'll cross the line to set up 42.6, goes ninth fastest. See a few drivers, like, I saw these two put on soft compound tyres in the garage, and now changed it back to intermediate. So the drivers on track, in my sort of educated opinion, aren't quite sure when the track conditions are going to change. Clearly, it's not quite dry enough to fully optimize the soft tyre. But it's not raining right now, so very interesting. But you can see off Swaggy's car, plenty of spray coming off, plenty of spray. But the critical thing for us as spectators and also for the drivers is when the DRS enabled prompt comes up, that will be the definite time to switch onto the soft tyre. Right now we're on the intermediates as Isaac Kush comes around turn 1, fourth gear, third. You can see how patient you have to be. Izzat, I know of previous experiences as a wet weather master. He's pretty damn good in the dry, but in the wet, sort of second to none in many ways. Purple to the first sector, up by 0.07 of a second. I remember watching this guy in Elite Tier 2, and some of the wet weather drives I saw with him were quite spectacular. One of the better ones I think I can remember was one at Paul Ricard, where he held off ACW. Ooh, Izzat was quite sideways there. That's if I recall that correctly. See, I do that many streams, it's difficult for me to remember most of them. Down to the second sector. Now, unless Izzat can pull something out of his sleeve in this final sector, they might just roll out of the lap. Either try and set another... Oh, you can see the car is incredibly sideways there at the exit of turn 13. I made mention of that. Even in the dry, the car is very skatey through the corner when you apply the throttle. There's a McLaren off the racetrack. Probably just getting out of the way. Round turn 14, then turn 15, immediately after. Round the final turn, so going to commit to this lap. 1 minute 42 flat, so found a little bit of time in the third sector, not enough to improve though. Swaggy on the other hand is up by 0.2 of a second, a little over 0.2 of a second. Needs to find a little bit more time in this final sector though, in order to challenge for pole. Around the hairpin, around the small kink of 15, Wogboy has jumped up to second place with a 42.1, and into the pits comes Swaggy. This is a strategic call from Swaggy. Is he going to be putting on the soft tyre here? I haven't seen the prompt come up with DRS enabled. Isaac Kush is on a second flying lap it seems. Only down by 15 thousandths of a second in the first sector, sideways out of 8 through 9, missing the apex though in the wet conditions it won't affect you too much. Let's see what the second sector says though. Down by 1/10. As we saw on the previous lap with Izzat, didn't really improve in this final sector. I have a feeling Izzat will probably roll out of this lap and go into the pits. Put on the soft tyre, perhaps. Though Swaggy isn't on the softs, he's on inters. Spilly just briefly went on to the wets. And there's the soft tyres for the Alfa Romeo. Soft tyres put on there. Same with TP, same with Crichton, same with Leo. All of them on softs. OP Magic, where's that? That's out of turn 4. Coming towards turn 5. And then the first sector split. Down by about 1/10 of a second in the first sector. You can still see spray coming off the intermediate tyre there. So there's still a little bit of moisture on the racetrack. And as I thought, Izzat did go into the pits. Probably going to put on a set of softs. Around turn 9. Then turn 10. You can see the car does not look stable in any way, shape or form. I reckon we're on the precipice of going onto the soft tyre. OP's down by 2/10 there at the end of the second sector. Needs to find a lot of time. As there we go, DRS enabled. There we go, there we go, there we go. So everyone's going to put on the softs. Absolutely everyone is going to put on the soft tyre. Ford's got medium tyres on for some reason. The ding dong, put on soft tyres. Crying out loud. You might as well try and find some track position. In these top tier races, it's very difficult to pass these guys, but because they're such a high quality, I feel as if in a high tier like this, you need that track position rather than being on the most ideal strategy. That being, of course, the medium to hard. The soft tyre around here tends to wear out pretty quickly. You want to be on the medium to hard strap. And in these conditions, the medium tyre is going to find it difficult to get up to temperature, get up to ideal pressure. In order to be sort of a useful tyre, you want to be on the soft compound in these sort of conditions. And look at the shenanigans going on back here. Hang on. At the back of it is curving Texas as Wogboy has retired in the pits. How long will Wogboy stay there? Will he plummet to the bottom of the order? But look at this. Look at this. Oh, this is Monza 2019 all over again. We just have guys everywhere. Oh my dearie me. I said there'll be shenanigans. We definitely got them. Drivers trying to get by other drivers. They're racing in qualifying. Racing for track position. They don't want to be behind someone. They don't want dirty air. They want to get a move on. You can see Swaggy passing. Sandeezy is just in front of his teammate. I'm not... Ooh, maybe they're going to work together. I don't know. One Slick Mofo well on the back of this. He needs to get a hurry up. The amount of time left in the session. Oh, coming around the bank turn of 13, heading onto the back straight. Look at the field. They're everywhere, left and right, up and down. It's just a sea of cars here in qualifying. Crichton on a flying lap. Actually, both Mercedes-Benzes are, but it's Crichton in front. We'll go to TP in just a moment. First sector says up by a colossal 1.6 seconds. This is to be expected on these soft tyres. TP improves on that, goes purple, improves by 1.7 seconds. ACW session is done. Same with OP Magic. The OP is going to be a roadblock for the cars behind. On those intermediate tyres, you're going to be a sitting duck. And Spilly's going to get holed up here. Spilly will not approve, I'm sure. And it's trying to set a competitive flying lap up by 1.5 seconds in the first sector. Williams off the racetrack. That has to be old mate Kurt. Sandeezy has retired, crashed out at turn 8. Stuff going on absolutely everywhere. I have no idea where to look. So the first car to set a flying lap right here at the end of the session will be Zach Crichton. He exits the final turn, crosses the line and goes to pole position. What about his teammate? Keep an eye on TP. He takes pole with a 34.8. Next car will be a racing point. Must be Sorel JB. Round the final turn. Watch that clock. 34.9 goes second fastest. What about Izzat? Izzat Kush is out. That's right. Wait. Izzat Kush is out? Swaggy's just gone fastest with a 33.5. Give me a minute. He was on a flying lap, was he not? I'm sure he was. Curving jumps up to second. Spilly in third. Plebs in fourth. We still have a few cars coming around. Mr. Mount, his session is done according to that checkered flag. So that is qualifying over. I'll go through the results, but I want to double check something because I am certain Izzat was on track with soft tyres. So, Swaggy on pole, curving Texas alongside Spilly in third, Pledge fourth, TP fifth, Sorel JB in sixth. Leo in 7th, Crichton 8th, Ford in 9th. Izzat Kush will start from P10. But he will get a free choice of tyre from P10, so that might be interesting to see. GeForce Wogboy in P11, Mr. Mount 12, Polish Gorilla 13th, OP Magic 14th, ACW 15th, Omei Kurt 16th, One Slick Mofo 17th, Nachos 18th, and Sandeezy in last place. Now, incidents. Nah, it won't save from here, does it? I was almost certain Isaac Kush was on a flying lap. Must have elected to retire. Interesting. Time for the race itself here at Shanghai. Overcast conditions for the start. The track is dry. See how it all pans out for the drivers on track. Yeah, that'll be very interesting to see how this one pans out. I have no weather reports, so I don't know if those clouds are going to become any worse. We see any sort of rain. Just have to wait and see, I suppose. Swaggy's good to go. Drivers outside the 10 will be deciding what kind of tyre to start on. Drivers inside the 10 deciding what kind of strategy to go with. They'll probably go from soft to hard to try and make the one-stop work. Either that or attempt a two-stop with a soft, medium. Yeah, it will be very interesting to see in terms of strategy how it all pans out. But everyone ready to race will line up on the grid and begin the formation lap. Alright, everybody sets off. Now, there we go. So the top 8 starting on soft compound tyres. Then we got GeForce Ford. He qualified on the mediums. He's in P9. He has his teammate right alongside with the bold decision to go onto the hard tyre. Isaac Kush, P10 on hard compound tyres. That is a very interesting call there. A ballsy call, in fact. Wogboy in P11 on mediums. Same with Mr. Mount in P12. Polish Gorilla on hard tyres, taking a similar gamble to Izzat. OP Magic in P14 on a set of mediums, with ACW on a set of hards as well. So both Renaults on the same strategy. Old mate Kurt in P16 on medium, same with One Slick Mofo. Nacho's taking a bit of a gamble, and it's a gamble I respect a lot, on the soft compound tyre. His plan is to be aggressive right from the get-go and try and pass as many drivers as he possibly can, and hopefully catch up to the top 8 who are also on the soft compound. Sandeezy, who has just overtaken the McLaren for whatever reason, is in 19th place on a set of medium compound tyres. So 3 hards, 1 soft, rest on the mediums for the drivers outside. Actually, sorry, no, it's only 2 mediums outside the top 10. Isaac Kush is in the top 10. Only just, but he's inside the top 10. So we've got an array of strategies taking place. Got 9 drivers on the softs. We have got 3 drivers on the hards. The rest on the medium compound. Yeah, very interesting indeed, in terms of strategy, at the very least. And you never know, there might be a safety car or a virtual safety car that would favour one of these strategies. Something that you need in motor racing every so often. It's just a little bit of luck. And if you see it fall in your favour, you'll be a very, very happy man indeed. But you're just waiting on Sandeezy to line up into his respective grid slot. And we can get the 28th laps of this Chinese Grand Prix underway. But here we go. Everyone lined up, ready to race. We have 5 red lights. And it's lights out. And away we go. Curving converts well, but so does Swaggy. Swaggy will try and lead the field round turn 1. Curving keeps his nose there, but ultimately Swaggy gets out in front. The midfield make their way through turns 2 and 3. Side by side they come. No contact, no end plates flying off into the gravel traps. Everyone behaving themselves pretty well. Heading around turn 5, completing the first sector. Oh, and there's a Renault off the racetrack. That must be ACW. No, sorry, it's Polish Gorilla. Polish Gorilla has lost several places off the start, and that excursion off into the gravel trap has resulted in him falling to last place. OP Magic and Nacho side by side. As I thought, the McLaren is on a charge, trying to make his way through the field. The Italian fighting hard. Looking down the inside, so is the Williams of old mate Kurt. Oh, contact. More contact. Round turn 13. They are side by side, but Kurt is on the, rather off the racing line, on the marbles. Ultimately, he couldn't hang on. See, there is that trying to break the tie just a little bit. Down the inside comes old mate Kurt on ACW into the hairpin. The driver's fighting hard towards the back, trying to make up as many places as possible. So we have a lap 2 glitch, that's why the positions change so much. It's not actually lap 3, it's only lap 2. Fantastic to see that Cody still has not fixed this. But anyway, it's not a game-breaking glitch, it's just a bit of an annoyance early on. Cars coming around the first sector. See the leaderboard fix itself. Round turn 6, heading towards the sweepers of 7 and 8. So RJB just losing a position off the start. Crichton up 3. Mercedes-Benz driver definitely not mucking around at the moment. Something's happened. It's Sandeezy. He's just brought out a brief yellow flag, perhaps having a moment in the high-speed S section. He's just lost more time to the pack in front. You can see here all the cars are still very close together. But you can also see Swaggy has broken away 1.3 seconds over curving Texas. Will we see a move here from anybody towards the hairpin? Everyone thinks better. Oh, never mind, missed him out. He sees it as an opportunity. He is side by side with Izzat. But unfortunately for the Williams, the upper Tauri had superior traction on the outside line and holds the position, keeps P11 for now. Around the sweepers, turns 1, 2, 3 and 4. See the field slow themselves down to a crawl, then slingshot themselves towards turns 4, then back down hard on the brakes for turn 6. Now with DRS enabled, that would spice things up just a little bit. Here in the midfield, I wouldn't imagine there'll be too much going on. Just have this colossal DRS train. All the action will occur towards the front of those trains, where you have one car that doesn't have DRS. Look at that field just pouring their way through turns 11 and 12. Crichton exiting 13. Right behind the gearbox of Plevs and P4, using DRS, using overtake. He's gaining and gaining and gaining. Will he go for a big send here at the hairpin? He's going to go for it. Plevs, oh, they make contact. Crichton, a forceful move there from Zach. He's just trying to get a move on, and Plevs just relinquishes the position there. Though Plevs, he's not going to give up here. Looking around the outside. Oh, they're going to enter turn 1 side by side. Then turn 2. Plevs has the outside, but he'll have the inside line for 3. I thought Plevs was going to try and keep it down the outside. Try and make sure Crichton didn't take the apex, but Plevs couldn't get the nose down far enough. Loses out in that little scrap between himself and Zach Crichton. Now Crichton's next target will be Spilly in P3. Gap is 8.5 tenths of a second. It's closing. Now let's see here. And we have this in the midfield. All these cars all bunched up together, ready to pounce, ready to get a move on. Round the sweeper of turn 13, Ford is looking for a move here. Sitting in behind Sir LJB. Oh, oof, that's a late move to the outside. The Racing Point's going to go deep on the brakes here. Overshoots the corner a little bit, but he keeps the car on the track. Ford would be none too impressed. And what's going on back there? There's gaggle of cars, all very close to each other. Crichton is in the pits, an early stop there for the Mercedes-Benz. Oh, and what's going on up here? Wogboy and Sir LJB are side by side. Heading into turn 2. Wogboy has the inside line for 3, tries to force a nose down the inside, doesn't make it stick though. That brings Ford back into this battle for P7. Heading round turn 5 into turn 6, down the inside goes Ford. They're going to be side by side at the exit, Ford and Wogboy. And in the end, Ford gets the position into P8. Now he has to try and attack Sir LJB once again, heading round turn 8. Then into turn 9, no real opportunity here. He has a half chance at turn 11. As Leo gets a 3-second time penalty. Currently P6 down the inside. He is looking. Does he commit to the overtake? No, he doesn't. Rather a wise decision. He'll get DRS. He'll get by the easy way. No need to overcomplicate things as old mate Kurt has spun round. He's got damage. He's now down in 17th place with a lot of work to do. He will effectively need a safety car to try and save his race. Sir LJB, that Racing Point has got some legs. Goes deep, goes too deep. Runs wide. And he falls down to 8th place. Wogboy looking around the outside, can't make it stick. Oh, and into the pits, Goes Sir LJB. In he comes. Rather gingerly to the speed limiter line. There is the pit window onto hard tyres. Ooh, car just teleported in front of him. That's his TP. What's going on here? Ooh. OP Magic and Polish Gorilla just go stinging inside each other, just casually. Meanwhile, this battle is still going on. Wogboy, Mofo and Mr. Mount, P6, 7 and 8. Just in front is that Kush and GeForce 4. All in this tremendously long DRS train, effectively battling for 4th place. Around the quite cumbersome section of turns 11 and 12, it's not one of my most favourite sections of racetrack in any Formula 1 game. Kush overtakes Ford. So is that making those hard tyres do the business? Oh, he's not doing himself any favours though. Swaggy into the pits. What on 2? Set of hard tyres. Appears that everyone is going to be committing to a one-stop strategy. Everyone who was on the soft tyre has pitted onto a set of hards. No one here is going to be doing a 2-stop. So Isaac Kush is now our new leader. Currently it's an AlphaTauri 1-2 with Wogboy just in behind in 3rd. And One Slick Mofo in P4, Mr. Mount in P5 applying pressure. ACW in 6th place. The second car in the field on hard compound tyres, that is the hard compound tyres that he started on in this race. And OP Magic in 7th, Polish Gorilla in 9th, the other driver who started on the hard compound. Sorry, did I say 9th? I meant 8th. I think I said 9th. But yeah, in 8th place is Polish Gorilla. Sandeezy in 9th place on a set of mediums. G4 Swaggy catching up to his teammate. Only 1.5 seconds separating the two. From looking at the intervals, no one's really in a position to attack anyone, it seems. Although these guys are quite close together, no one is really in a position to attack. You need to have a lot of momentum on your side, and you need to be quite committed under brakes in order to make the move work. But as of right now, I think these guys are quite happy to just follow each other at the moment. That's all they really can do in this sort of scenario. Sandeezy still in 9th, but his teammate is now properly on the back of him. Coming out of turn 6. Sandeezy gets off the throttle, and Swaggy still on the racing line. Moves into 9th place. Nice teamwork there from two Alfa Romeo drivers. Sandeezy knows there is little point in holding up his teammate, but oh dear, as Crichton and Sandeezy go off there at turn 10, it could have been quite a nasty accident, that. Right onto the Astro turf, where there's very, very little grip. Because what's going on here? Mr. Mount into 4th, Wogboy into 2nd. I'm sure Ford's not going to give up though. Wogboy won't have DRS. Oh, Ford, he's going to let Wogboy keep the position for now. We'll see what happens at the end of the lap. But yeah, you could see both Sandeezy and Crichton very, very sideways at the exit of 10. Fortunately, they managed to gather it back up and get it back onto the black stuff. Polish Gorilla, right on the back of OP Magic. Those medium tyres will start to feel the burn soon. These hard compound tyres will start to feel pretty okay in comparison to the mediums. Sandeezy, not making it easy for Crichton. Round turn 8. Crichton's going to look down the inside. Oh, he tried. He certainly tried. Ooh. Round turn 11. Crichton wants to get this move done. Can't do it just yet. He's got Spilly all over the back of him. 3rd gear. 4th gear. Has the inside line. They are side by side. Contact. The straight line speed of the Alfa Romeo on song. But DRS in play here for Crichton as Sandeezy defends hard into turn 14, the hairpin. Oh, and there's Spilly. Spilly! Was that a sin from Spilly there? He's just taken both Sandeezy and Crichton off the racetrack. And into the pits goes Crichton. Desperate front wing change here. He was a massive sort of loser out of that scenario. Onto a set of mediums. Front wing change. What a wretched bit of luck that is. Yes, Billy out of nowhere down the inside. Sandeezy and Crichton, both of them pushed off the racetrack there. That was odd. Yeah, I was just getting ready to see Crichton overtake Sandeezy, and then boom, there's this pink Mercedes just out of nowhere. Oh, and Sandeezy's out, and a safety car deployed. Safety car has been deployed. This is a saving grace for Crichton and Kurt, and also for Nachos as well. Lost a fair amount of time. We'll come around turn 10, we'll have a look. There it is. A very much dead Alfa Romeo there. Crashed into the tyre barrier at the inside of the exit of turn 10. Into the pits. Everyone goes. E-I-E-I-E-I-O. So I imagine everyone on the mediums will go on to the hards. Everyone on the hards probably go on to the mediums, I imagine. However, a few drivers didn't bother pitting. Swaggy, Plebs, TP and Texas. They made pit stops earlier on off the soft tyre. They're going to commit to the hard tyre here. Try and go to the finish. Isaac Kush, this really hasn't played into his favour. If he started on the mediums and went on to the hards, then this will be a fantastic scenario, but unfortunately you can never predict when a safety car comes out. Now Isaac sort of been dealt this hand. Get these medium tyres to the finish. It'll be one long haul. Very difficult to pull off. What a saving grace for these guys. Nacho's onto a set of soft tyres. Kurt passes the pair of them on a set of hard compound tyres. I think he's going to try and carry those excuse me, to the end of the race. And Crichton on a set of mediums. Fresher mediums. Got a lot of work to do. And only one penalty at the moment. Leo. 3 seconds worth, if I'm not mistaken. Not too many places on the racetrack where you can get penalties. Most prominent one is probably the final turn. Other than that, really no trouble. Oof. So this will give us a nice little reset. Allow the cars who lost out earlier on try and get something here now. This brand new scenario. Now the hard runners should be able to make it to the end. Got two guys on soft compound tyres. They're definitely not making it. They have to make another stop. Izzat's got a bit of a question mark. Same with ACW. Into the pits goes old mate Kurt. What's the Williams driver up to? Set of medium compound tyres. Try and give himself the best possible chance to get these tyres to the end. So strategies definitely going to play a part in this one. There are guys on old hards, guys on fresh mediums, guys on fresh hards. Got some guys on fresh softs. They'll be planning to charge through the field, make up as many positions as they can, and perhaps pray for another safety car at some stage. Really work in their favour. It's a gambling tactic, but it might be able to work. It's definitely going to be a very interesting race. Now I think when Kurt catches up to the tail of this field. The safety car will pull in to the pits, I believe anyway. We'll be back on the green flag racing. Though it might be close. It seems like the safety car is going to do another lap. No, it's not. As soon as I say that. So, because this game is silly, we're going to have a catastrophe. I was going to use a swear there, I better not. A catastrophic restart, I imagine. See the field bunch up. Oh dear. They have to let the safety car go into the pits. So you can see Swaggy is incredibly slow. Oh, dearie me, we're back on the green flag racing, and Pledge gets swallowed. This is the most ridiculous restart I have ever seen in my F1 career. Heading towards turn 1, we got drivers left, right and centre. As they head towards turn 2, there's a car spinning, I think. In the infield, no, I was wrong, but there's plenty of contact going on. Oh, and Pledge just deliberately hits Kush. That's without a doubt deliberate there. Just ran right up his gearbox, and as a result, Kush loses a few positions there. Down the inside goes OP Magic. Pledge just takes the apex. Oh dear, Mr. Race Spec isn't too happy about that. But you heard the wheel spin. He was full throttle straight into the back of Izzat. Dearie me. Oh, and Nachos has spun out. Oh, and Leo is there with him as well. And Izzat is off the road on the gravel trap at turn 9. What a catastrophic restart. Dearie me, and you can see Izzat's very slow at the moment. I'm not sure what he's thinking right now. Gets the car going again. Maybe he was saving footage or something, I'm not sure. What a ridiculous restart that was. And that's purely down to this game being unbelievably stupid. And into the pits goes Plevs. I mean, Kurt just caught onto the back of the line very, very late on. The safety car pulled in at the last minute. And because of how the game works, like Swaggy, I would assume wanted to go, but the game restricts you. It takes you off throttle. When you do that, when you don't give enough time to the safety car to get into the pits. And oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. That was not a nice restart at all. Izzat Kush has elected to retire from the session. That is some news. He'll be very disappointed about this, I'm sure. He's still got half the race to go. Still a lot of action and a lot of drama to take place. Oh dear, and speaking of which, 4 goes into the back of Spilly, heading towards 14. Now, did the AlphaTauri get damaged? Doesn't appear to have damage as DRS is now enabled. Even with little contact like that, in the Pacific tiers we have full damage, so there is a fair chance that you will actually get damage from even light contact like that. Then again, on full damage, I've seen drivers go flat out into a wall and get nothing. Or even T-bone a driver at the top of Radeon. I'm sure Curving would know all about that, and somehow get no damage. Crichton down the inside, a ballsy move, locking up. OP will get a switch back. Oh, but Crichton just puts the car in the right place, into 9th. See there, he sort of half blocked OP at the exit there. Didn't allow OP to try and get the switch back, to try and fight into turn 7 and 8. Crichton in 9th, on a charge. Heading around turns 11 and 12. ACW. Sitting in the slipstream, DRS open, using overtake. He is gaining. Into the braking zone. Does he go for it? 40's thinking about it, and he's gone too deep, and 40 runs off. Crichton, OP will get some positions here. Oh, unfortunately OP, he couldn't quite get it. 40 gathered it just enough to hang on to 9th place, but he overshot there, went onto the grass to avoid contact with Spilly. It was a good bit of driving that, to know that he was going to make contact, so he took avoiding action, and he didn't cut to the inside. He went to the outside to make sure Spilly didn't turn in on him, because Spilly would have just been turning in for the apex, for the hairpin. But dearie me. Oh, and what's going on here? Oh, and sideways, Crichton. Oh, sideways again. Round turn 7. Leo. Purple. 1 minute 32.573. Round turn 9. Then turn 10. Sitting right in the slipstream. Heading towards the end of the second sector. Spilly weaving his car a little bit. Perhaps showing his frustration. Maybe he wants to get a move on. Either that or he's just trying to get temperature into his tyres, either or. ACW, here we go. Using DRS, it's going to be a straightforward move. Curving, understanding his scenario, just doesn't put up too much of a fight there. Spilly, he'll try and follow the Renault here, down the inside. Curving gives a bit of space, but fortunately for the Red Bull, being on the outside, he has better traction compared to those on the inside. He was able to hang on to P6 that way. Spilly though, not giving up. Using overtake and DRS, so is Curving, I imagine. Heading round turn 1, up the hill towards turn 2. Be careful of the bump here, does unsettle the car a little bit. Round turn 2, quite an awkward complex this. Down the hill round turn 3. He's sitting right in behind the gearbox, ready to overtake. 4th gear, 5th gear, 6th gear. Round turn 5, he loses too much time here to Curving, and down the inside Crichton, he's going to go for a move. Or they make contact. You can see Spilly just taking the apex, not giving Crichton any space whatsoever. And I do believe he was rather entitled to it. Crichton didn't put the big send in. I don't think Crichton was far enough down the inside to dictate terms into the corner. Round turn 10, heading towards 11. Spilly runs wide. So does Crichton, and so does Ford. All three of them running wide there at turn 10. Up the hill round turn 11, then turn 12, 3rd gear. Then he'll short shift to 4th gear, 5th gear, round the sweeper. Spilly, he's got a bit of a run on Curving, who is losing time. He's losing time to ACW. You do expect this though, because ACW is on those fresh, medium compound tyres. He's going to be very fast indeed. Heading into the braking zone, Spilly goes for a move. They are side by side. But Curving on the outside gets that better traction, hangs on to P6. Crichton is coming though. Round the final turn of 16, a bit sideways there Spilly, but he keeps it under the control. Lap 18 begins, and there's Crichton, right in behind, looking to the inside. Will he go deep? He will! Spilly relinquishes the position, tries to get the switch back, can't get it done. Into turn 2, Crichton now on the back of the Red Bull. Then through turn 3, nice and gentle, 3rd gear, 4th gear. Tries to get the power down, does so, uses overtake, but Curving gets a better exit, heading towards a heavy braking zone of 6. I think Curving will stay out in front, and he does stay out in front. Here we go, a battle for 3rd. Mr. Mountain TP, the other Mercedes-Benz is in the action, in the wars rather as well. Round turn 8 into turns 9 and 10. ACW has introduced himself to this battle, saying, "Hey fellas, how are you? I've also got these fresh medium compound tyres. I like to show how quick they are to you." Round turn 11, then turn 12, 3rd gear, 4th gear at the exit. Guys in the background are still scrapping it out for position. Round turn 13, there's Wog Boy. Then come the trio of cars battling for 3rd. TP pulls to the inside. He's going to cover the inside line, heading towards the hairpin. And Mr. Mount has nowhere to go. He has to go the long way. into the heavy braking zone of turn 14. They are side by side, but Mr. Man has the traction with the outside line. Into third place goes to Williams. Crichton and Texas are battling, heading towards 16. Texas probably wisely gives up the position there, but he runs wide at the final turn. Crichton's vulnerable though, no DRS to help him. Curving, looking around the outside into turn 1. They are side by side, heading up the hill. Over the bump, into turn 2. Crichton with the inside line and with the better tyre holds on to P6, making contact. P7 and 8. 40 introduces himself to this battle, exiting turn 4, heading up towards turn 5, the end of sector 1. 40, will he look? Will he look? No, he won't. Spilly defends well. Does overshoot it a little bit, but he holds on to the position nicely. Though Spilly doesn't get the greatest run, they are going to be side by side heading around turn 7. Still side by side heading around turn 8. Now 40, he will have the inside line for turns 9 and 10. He will have the dominant position, but Spilly doesn't care. He's going to hold it around the outside. What a brilliant bit of racing. A bit squarely on the eggs of both of them. But they keep it on the black stuff and they're still running. They shouldn't battle too hard though, otherwise they'll let Crichton and Texas pull away. Meanwhile, battle for 4th place, TP, under assault here from ACW. The Renault with those fresher medium tyres, so much quicker than the hard runners. He's into 4th place with absolute ease, gets to Mercedes-Benz before the braking zone. Now ACW, his next target is Mr. Mount in the Williams on similar aged tyres but on the hard compound. He needs to get a move on. If he doesn't get a move on, those hard tyres will drop off and the battle for third will become a lot easier for Mr. Mount. One slick mofo, a penalty, 3 seconds worth. Down the inside goes G-Force Ford through turn 1 into turn 2. Maybe a little bit of contact, nothing too devastating there. Round turn 3, Spilly right in behind. OP Magic now introduces himself into this. Cyril JB isn't too far behind, so is old mate Kurt. And down the inside goes Crichton. TP doesn't fight too hard. I think he understands his battle with his teammate. Just let him go and just sort of do your own thing. He's got a bit of a healthy gap to curving Texas. If he can manage that, then he's in good stead for a solid finish. These guys are still giving each other a hard time at the moment. Top 3, they've got big gaps always. Ford and Spilly run wide there at the exit of 10. We've seen that a few times in this race. Around turn 11, then turn 12. I think Ford might be in a position here to attack. He closes in on the Red Bull. The AlphaTauri has a little bit more ERS to play with here. The curving, lucky enough, still has DRS to play with. Just within a second of G-Force TP as they head round turn 14. Old mate Kurt and Cyril JB. Cyril JB gives him the hard shoulder, pushes him out wide there at turn 14, not mucking around. He wants to hang on to this P11, seems. Here comes Ford, side by side with Texas, down the inside into 1, up the hill. Towards turn 2, Texas can't really fight it. Those fresher hard tyres paying dividends for the AlphaTauri into 7th place. Now curving has to worry about Spilly. These two were inseparable at Singapore. They have come together again here at Shanghai. Exiting turn 6, there's OP Magic just behind. You often see the two Red Bulls fairly close together. They're very much evenly matched in terms of pace. Round turn 8, heading towards turn 9. Third gear, gently on the throttle, gently. Not forcing the car. With that, just hitting your marks, doing a good job there. Turn 11. Then turn 12. Sitting right in behind the gearbox, ready to attack. Round turn 13. Now is he close enough? He's using overtake. Curving, he's got nothing except DRS. Here comes Spilly. He's got nothing left either. Oh, but Spilly, he's thinking about it. He shows the nose. Curving gives him the space. The curving ends up on top. Again, with that outside line. Very critical. These guys really battling hard. That was One Slick Mofo, just bringing out a brief yellow flag there. Sorrel JB looking left and right. His battle with old mate Kurt is not over. Heading around turn 2. Then turn 3. Exiting 3 into 4, Kurt pulls away. This quadrant of cars still fighting, dearie me. Now for Tarry, a Red Bull. 2 Red Bulls rather, and a racing point. Spilly in a Honda sandwich right now. And ACW has clawed onto the back of Mr. Mount. The battle for 3rd place is on. Around turn 13, heading on to the long back straightaway. ACW will get DRS, he will close in rapidly on the Williams. See here, 5 tenths heading into the braking zone, so effectively gained 2 tenths of a second there down the straight. Such is the power of DRS. Down the inside, OP Magic not mucking around, he's into 9th place. Now the 2 Red Bulls are line astern in P8 and P9. ACW closes up even more on Mr. Mount, heading around turn 2, down the hill towards 3. The gap is less than half a second. Out of turn 4, 5th gear, sideways on the exit. That will cost ACW. He can't attack here. He's not close enough. You won't be able to attack through here either. There's no real opportunities available to you in this sort of second sector. Sort of have to play a patient game. Not lose too much time. Try not to make any mistakes. Mr. Map gets a fantastic exit out of turn 10. Really pulled away. ACW into turns 11 and 12. Polish Gorilla, 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Round turn 13. Again, ACW, he's closer than what he was the lap before. Is he close enough to attack? Well, Mr. Mount certainly thinks so. Here he comes. Towards the hairpin. Round the outside, he's looking. Mr. Mount defends hard. Tries to push ACW out wide. Can't do it though. He's on the racing line, but ACW has the inside line for the final turn. Into 3rd goes ACW. But Mr. Mount's not finished yet. He's got DRS heading towards turn 1, looking around the long way. ACW goes deep. Mr. Mount tries to get the switch back. He gets a nose in. Round turn 2 into 3, ACW has the inside line. Oh, and Mr. Mount had to sort of turn out of the corner there to avoid contact with the Renault, and that has introduced Crichton into this. Heading towards turn 6, Crichton goes for the send. They make contact. Wheel to wheel. Oh, more contact as Mr. Mount gets sideways at the exit. Ultimately, though, Crichton's out in front. He's now in 4th place with his next target, the Renault of ACW. You saw their wheel-to-wheel contact. It sort of unsettled the Williams there, and the car got very sideways at the exit when Mr. Mount was applying the power. As a result, that sort of sent the car into a half spin into the Mercedes-Benz. Nothing intentional, it's just how the physics work in the game. The car getting a bit unsettled, and as a result, spun it into Zach. So, though I don't think this is over, half a second. Gaining. Will Mr. Mount return the favour? No, he doesn't. Because that was an almighty send from Zach at turn 6. He really did go for it. As Spilly gets past Curving Texas for 9th place. About time, he says. Spent too much time behind you over the course of these past few races. Finally, I'm in front. Crichton and Mr. Mount side by side as One Slick Mofo has crashed at the final turn. He is out of the race, and a safety car has been deployed as Polish Gorilla crashes out at the second last turn. See here, there he is there. He's had a spin and he's had a massive impact with the wall. As Leo goes into the pits, a no-brainer right here. Got nothing to lose. Might as well chuck on soft tyres and send it. But what about these guys up here? Who pits and who doesn't? Well, the field is so incredibly close together, I don't think anyone would pit. In which case, it might really favour these medium runners right now if they manage to get, or rather save, a little bit of life in their tyres. But what a set of circumstances we have here. We're going to have another shootout finish in the Pacific Tier 1 series on Race Spec Esports. Another shootout finish. How long is this going to be though? Is it going to be 1, 2 laps? We'll wait and see. ACW stays out. Crichton stays out. TP takes a gamble. I like that. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like you mimicking Hamilton like that. I know you're in the Mercedes, but don't do that. Pulls it up. I mean, for the sake of victory, who knows? It might really work in your favour to be on the soft tyre. Who knows? A whole heap of drivers are in. Curving's in. Curving is a bit more understandable. He spent 18 laps on those hard tyres. Spent a long, long time on them. Rather than try and defend, put yourself on the foot, try and attack. We've got a healthy amount of cars putting on soft compound tyres too. A real healthy amount. 7 cars, in fact. Oh, it's going to make the end of this race very, very interesting. And there you go, Toddster. You were quite correct, Sir LJB in the pits. Onto soft compound tyres. And you can hear there, that suggests to me that Wogboy's got too much fuel in the car. Trying to burn it. Safety car in this lap. Safety car is in this lap. That's a hell of a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be. I thought it might hang out with us for a little longer than that, but no, it's in. So that's quite unfortunate for the likes of Plebs, Leo and Nachos. It won't let them catch up to the back end of the field. But I think Sir LJB will catch on to the back. Old mate Kurt will. And these two definitely have Texas and TP. They're going to send it. You got 2 laps. 11 kilometers worth of racing left. You're going to have to send it. And see what you get. And then we have this towards the front of the field. Swaggy, our current race leader, on old hard compound tyres. He's already got a gap to Wogboy. What is Wogboy doing? He needs to close up. He needs to close up to Swaggy. He's held up the entire field. Round the final turn. What was Wogboy doing? He's already given out a 6th, 10th margin. He should have been right on the gearbox of Swaggy there. Ready to pounce, but no, he was lagging well behind. Oh, and hang on, what's going on here? TP has spun. No, I was really hoping to see what would happen with the soft runners. Trying to send it, and unfortunately TP has come out second best in that. He's down in 12th, still in 5th gear. Curving attacking his old rival Spilly. They are side by side heading around turn 7. Curving has the grip though, and there's nothing Spilly can do. Into P8 goes Curving Texas. His next target is his teammate. All locking up. OP makes it easy for him. Into P7 goes the Red Bull. The next target is GeForce Ford. Spilly gets a 3-second time penalty. Multiple warnings as they head through turns 11 and 12. Through they go. 2nd gear. 3rd gear. 4th gear. Curving right on the back. He's going to dump his ERS. So is Ford. They both are. But Texas needs to know that he has better traction on the brakes with those softer tyres. He can really send it down the inside. Ford knows this. He defends hard. Curving. He looks so. Down the inside. They're side by side. Oh, and that's a mistake there from Texas. He's a bit sideways there at the exit. Now our race leader Swaggy crosses a line to begin the final lap here at Shanghai. Texas sets fastest lap with a 32.5. Top two are separated by less than a second, though I feel as if that restart has really handed Swaggy the win. There was no fight at all there from Wogboy. Plev sets fastest lap. ACW and Crichton are battling for the podium. Mr. Mount is under assault here from curving Texas. These fresh soft compound tyres are just millions of miles an hour faster than those old hard tyres, but Mr. Mount defending hard, doing the best that he can to try and hang on to P5. Spilly and Old Mate Kurt are battling for 8th place. They are side by side. Around the outside goes Old Mate Kurt, and it's a similar story to the previous lap. Those soft compound tyres paying massive dividends. Into P8 goes the Williams. Speaking of Williams, Mr. Mount is under assault, heading towards the heavy braking zone of 11. Mr. Mount defends the inside line. They are side by side, but Curving has the inside line for 12 and for 13. Can he hold it there? Can he keep it there? He's going to try, and he's successful. Into P5 goes the Red Bull. Is that the best that he can do? Can he find one more? Or maybe not. Mr. Mount's on the back of him, ready to attack into the hairpin for the final time. They are side by side, deep on the brakes. Mr. Mount fights hard, but there's nothing he can do. Texas holds on to 5th. Meanwhile, round the final turn, Swaggy will take the checkered flag. He will win here at Shanghai. Wogboy in 2nd, ACW in 3rd. With curving Texas finishing in P5 with Zach Crichton in P4. I just saw the position change just briefly then. Mr. Mount will finish in P6, Ford in P7, Old Mate Kurt in P8, making it a very solid day for Williams. Sir LJB in 9th, OP Magic in 10th, Spilly in 11th, Plebs in P12, TP in 13th, Leo in 14th, and Nachos will cross the line, our final driver scoring one singular point in 15th place. A lot of stuff happened in that race. A lot of talking, a lot of commentating, because a lot of stuff happened, particularly in the midfield. Not so much towards the front, unfortunately. Well done to Swaggy once again, another victory. Wogboy in 2nd and ACW in 3rd. I don't know, I just can't help but question that restart though. It's in the back of my mind. Because Wogboy had a lot of space to Swaggy. If he was fighting for the win, he'd be right up in behind his gearbox, ready to pounce as soon as Swaggy goes, but he just did not do that. I don't know. A bit disappointing there towards the front, but we had some great stuff in the midfield. Crichton finishing 4th, Curving in 5th with a late race charge. Mr. Mount defended hard, but 6 is all he can manage. Ford in 7th, Old Mate Kurt in 8th, Sir LJB in 9th, and OP Magic rounds out the top 10. Spilly in P11, Plebs in P12, TP in 13th, Leo in 14th, and Nachos rounds out the finishes in 15th place. 3 DNFs, Mofo, Gorilla, Isaac, Kush, and Sandeezy. Why can't the Chinese Grand Prix in real life be like this? This was drama, there was racing, there was action, there was everything. In real life, this is a horrible racetrack that develops next to no racing. But in the virtual world, like many of the horrible circuits are, it develops some pretty funky racing, and we saw that tonight. Oh boy. There we go. A lot of fun that was. Heaps of fun watching those guys doing what they do best. Well, we had a break for Easter. We come out of it with a bang. Great race indeed. I'm a bit knackered from that. Not always knackered. at end tonight. I do believe that will conclude round 9 of the Go Workplace Training Tier 1 Pacific Series on Race Spec Esports. Next week, I don't know what next week is. I'll have a look on the calendar. Thinking it might be Circuit of the Americas, if memory serves me right. It is Circuit of the Americas. Yeah, I knew we were touring over to the Americas now. Well, COTA. From one Tilcadrome to the next. Austin, Texas is one of the finest racing facilities in the United States. It's a semi-decent racetrack. It's got a lot of technicality to it. A Frankenstein circuit, if you will. It has a series of sections that are quite reminiscent to other famous sections from other famous racetracks, probably most notably Maggots and Beckett's, the high-speed S section in the first sector at COTA. They're quite similar. But the racing tends to be pretty okay. So I'm looking forward to next week, but the action doesn't stop here at Shanghai. Tomorrow, or in about 12 or 10 hours time, we'll have the Americas Series race here at Shanghai, and then at the end of the week we'll have the RS Global Tiers fight it out at this racetrack. So still a lot of racing to look forward to here in China. But here at the Tier 1 Pacific Series, it's time to end. Holy moly, I am knackered out. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching. I've been the Smeg, and we'll see you all next week for the American Grand Prix, the United States Grand Prix at Circuit of the Americas. Until then, goodbye.